I'm Laura.
And I'm Lisa.
And this is the Paid Media Playbook, where we talk to marketing professionals about their challenges, tactics, and triumphs.
Join us here at Double Z Media for weekly conversations about media strategies for marketing leaders.
So Lisa, what is the difference between story ads and reels? I feel like stories are like pictures and reels are videos.
So you can run a video as a story. As far as from the Meta Ads Manager side is concerned, there's basically no difference at all. There are some weird quirks. You can't run an ad campaign on Facebook Reels without also placing ads on Instagram Reels for absolutely no discernible reason. And then there's also some weird things with stories where you can have a carousel story ad with multiple video cards on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But on Facebook, you can only have a carousel with still images in your story ad. You can't have multiple videos in a row. Again, why is that the case? I'm very unclear.
So is there a difference in the way you can target? What's the point of having both?
Well, from an advertising perspective, people use them differently. Someone might be browsing stories versus reels.
Explain that, honestly, because I really am bad at this because I know that I've done both, posted both myself, and I know that we as a digital media firm place them, but I don't personally do it. So I only know my own usage and the fact that we do this for a bunch of clients.
The difference is only with organic content. So reels are public, whereas stories are if someone follows you. You see the stories that your friends have posted.
Thank you. That's what I needed.
Otherwise, I mean, and especially from an advertising perspective, as far as paid placements go,
it's stories.
I would say identical. You could do both.
Oh.
You should do both. That's where people are spending their time is both.
Got it.
And really, I haven't seen a huge difference in performance between the two of them. The only thing is that Meta always prioritizes their newest, coolest toy.
Trying to get people to use it. And so what is newer? I guess reels are newer.
Yeah, reels are newer. Organically, you're more likely to get views if you're using the coolest, newest format. And then that does actually roll over with paid too. They do prioritize ads. When video first started getting really popular, God, ages ago, they would choose to run a video ad instead of a still ad. They wanted to show off that they had this cool new thing.
Sounds like Meta.
Yeah. But I mean, you do get benefits from playing into that. You always have to be learning with them. They never keep anything the same for more than a week or two.
What are some of the rules to do creatively and targeting?
From a targeting perspective, not really. You set up the tactic exactly how you would, and then when you get to the end, you choose what format you want the ad to be.
Okay.
I mean, creatively, the biggest thing is that they're vertical video instead of square, which does mean it's harder to repurpose. I mean, newsfeed ads are so easy to slap together. Almost everyone has some kind of square or landscape format image that we can just throw some copy on top of and maybe
But the
rotate.
vertical is more difficult. Yeah, I know. I noticed that. I went to Europe with my daughter and I was taking pictures of her in landscape and she was like mortified. Like, what the hell are you doing? God, Mom, you're old. You know, that kind of thing. So I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say you definitely have to make creative for that placement specifically. As far as should you run a story ad or a Reels ad instead of just in a regular news feed, I think it really depends on what your message is, what you're talking about. I think news feeds, well, I don't think. The numbers back up that news feeds perform better when you're advertising something for any length of time. Any kind of consistent messaging where you're trying to get multiple impressions built up over a couple of months, or just brand recognition, that kind of thing. We've seen much better results for stories and reels when we're advertising something that's time sensitive. It seems like events, they're so good for events. We have some local farmers market-y type things that they have a big crafts fair one weekend. We want to be on the stories for everyone in that zip code constantly for 2 weeks leading up to it. But you don't want to run one story for a long time. I think there's a lot more impression fatigue for story and reel ads.
Yeah.
I've noticed creative starts to drop off with performance a lot sooner there than it does in a news feed.
It gets tired easily, huh? Or
Yeah.
it's not interesting.
I think it's the format, right? When you're swiping to the next video, you're expecting to get something new and different every time. And so if you're seeing the same video over and over again.
That makes perfect sense.
Whereas in the news feed, I think that's less of an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if you compare video completion rate, story ads versus newsfeed ads are pretty identical.
That's good to know. It really matters on click-through rate.
For events.
Yeah. Got it. So that's the benefit of
stories/reels. I use them interchangeably. I know they're different, but from my end, they're really not. And that's not helpful when people are actually using the apps and trying to talk about things.
Well, the creative you use for it, just one more time, it can be the same.
Between stories and reels, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But it has to be different from newsfeed ads, obviously. They say you can run vertical in a newsfeed, but I think that looks really silly, personally. Newsfeed ads really ought to be square.
Yeah, I know, because so many other platforms are too now. So
you stand out in a gauche way if you have a different aspect ratio.
Yes.
Creative. Thank you for listening to the Paid Media Playbook. Want more content like this? Sign up for our newsletter at doublezmedia.com/newsletter. You can also find the link in the episode description.